Week 2 of the 2024 season. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the 49ers and the Vikings, and it's all up next.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. How to get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers. They, too, were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Well, the 49ers getting ready to go on offense, and it's the Pro Bowler Brock Purdy at the helm in his third NFL season now out of Iowa State.
And the great story of Brock Purdy continues. Had he been drafted in the first round, I think people would be singing his praises to the skies, but for whatever reason, people can't let go of the fact he's Mr. Irrelevant, and they don't give him the credit he deserves. He is not just a system quarterback. He's a guy who enhances his team. Not just along for the ride, he's the one steering the ship. And without him, their ceiling significantly drops.
Throwing here, Purdy. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he powers his way up past the 30. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Third down, here's McCaffrey. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3-and-out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, what was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that and fast.
So here are the Vikings to go on offense for the first time, and it's a rookie at the helm, the 10th overall pick back in April out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
And I can't imagine that week 1 was anything except a whirlwind for this young man. A few bright spots in the opener, but as expected, a few rookie mistakes as well. Let's find out if he learned from them, and we'll show some progress and improvement starting here in week 2.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now McCarthy. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. He's still on his feet. Now look out. He's to the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3-and-out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3-and-out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did it.
Oh, this is blocked. This is going the other way. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I rarely question anyone's effort on the field. But normal, you give up a touchdown like that, a long-distance play, there's usually not a lot of resistance on the extra point. In this case, though, where they bowed their backs and got after it.
Yeah, a little revenge. Nicely done.
Yeah, way to go. Get in there, block it, and show them that they're still fighting.
to about the 33-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here. They go play action here. Purdy. And this one's incomplete. Look at his defense for the Vikings. They interplay here, number 11, just outside the top 10 of the league in stopping the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stopped him for no gain.
He's got his target. That's complete. Down the left sideline. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Oh, man, disappointment that he couldn't finish that off in the end zone. What an effort there, doing all he can to get to the pylon, and he's going to wind up out of bounds just short. But a huge play there, going to set him up with first and goal from very short range.
The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they go to work on a first and goal. And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down from the left hash. He'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And this one is right through. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They're looking to bounce back following the loss to the Giants last week. And they do lead here right now, and they've got the football obviously as well. First and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Taken down back at the 23-yard line.
To the air with McCarthy. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And into the end zone, a pick six for the 49ers as they score the touchdown. Well, Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick six.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play game for his defense right there.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he returns this to the 22. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out. For very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Looking to throw McCarthy. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on second and 4. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Back to throw, Purdy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that was open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Backs it away.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Purdy on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Can't get away, and he's taken down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's McCarthy. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Final play of the half, Purdy. The guy's man complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. So we have reached halftime here. Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the 3rd quarter here. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this 3rd quarter. And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them, making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
And he'll be corralled well outfield right around the 40-yard line. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's a give to Jones running left. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back ball game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
At the 40-yard line.
Again, it's Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Brings up 3rd down and 12.
Throwing is McCarthy. He shakes him off. Flushed out right. Big yardage there on the scramble and gets him a 1st down.
It's a gain of 28 yards. And the Vikings.
Man in motion is Sherfield.
1st and 10.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Looking to throw. McCarthy. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
It's 4th down.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy. Eluding the pressure right. Able to fight through 1 tackle. And this turns into a nice game with a slide at the end.
Again, we've seen plenty of games. We've been there before. They thought they had this one over with if they could have stopped them right there on that down. Now they've got to continue to play. That's going to be tough.
That's tough because it was such great coverage. They had them blanketed, especially there in the secondary, but, hey, took off and found a way. Back to throw. McCarthy. The left side completion to Jones. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now there's a scoop, and I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Now Moody for the PAT. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's 2nd down. Operating from the gun. McCarthy.
If this offense can't get it done, they'll think back to just a few plays and say to themselves, this was a winnable game and we let it get away. Still a chance to save it, but time's definitely running out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pressure gets to him and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. Under pressure and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it was strictly for pride. Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. Hands up forcing the incompletion.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't get it. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. The flag comes in. It's incomplete. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that one go. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here comes 2nd down. Looking to throw. McCarthy. It fights him off. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Back to throw. McCarthy. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So the victory here for San Francisco. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for San Francisco, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.